Ready?
I guess just kind of what are your thoughts on the two big duels coming up this week?
Well, I think both dual meets are going to be competitive. I mean, I think Northern Iowa, not sure exactly what they're ranked. Good competitors, hard. They wrestle hard. They've always wrestled hard. And I think Iowa State will be, I think, probably our biggest challenge all year. Not taking anything away from North Carolina or what how our team performed there, but this is a team that, we're going to have upsets. And if we don't, we can't win. Until, as of now, where we're at, I think we got a chance to be a lot better, in 7 weeks from now. But for now, where we're at, this will be our toughest test. There's no question. They got a good team and a balanced team.
With as new as your group is, as young as your group is, are you kind of intrigued to see how they're going to respond to the challenge of this week?
Yeah. I mean, I think we can wrestle really well and maybe struggle with a win, But I will say that, don't ever count us out. We'll be in the middle of it.
Are there any guys you're specifically eager to see?
Come here. Speak up.
Are there any guys you're eager to see specifically?
On the other teams?
On yours against Iowa State.
On the other team or our team?
Yes.
What was the question?
Are there any of your guys you're excited to see wrestle this week?
Oh, okay. I apologize. I can't hear very well. Yeah, like all 10 of them. Yeah, I mean, we're still developing, and we've got several young guys that are developing right now, trying to build some confidence. I've got some older guys that we know that for us to have a competitive run at anything, fix, even though, I want to see every one of his match. I'm probably being a little bit more picky on what I want to see with him right now, as well as Isaac and Plot. I just, those guys right now, they got to lead by example, and when those guys talk, our guys are listening. So I like to see certain things happening from those three in their matches, and they obviously, all of them got competitive matches this week.
John, is Sammy about where you expected him to be, or is he surpassing your expectations, or what are you seeing out of him, and is he where you expected him to be?
One thing, make clear, whoever I wrestle this week, that's not a finalized weight class for us. I think he's knows that it's time to challenge himself a little bit. I mean, here you are at the end of your career, and it's time to challenge yourself and ask something out of yourself and actually play a role on a team that you can help, and I think a lot of his personal outings in the last couple of weeks, he has placed the team as a motivator to wrestle well, and so it's about time. Good for him. We need more of that, and he's showing up early for practice, leaving late, doing a lot of things that's pretty exciting. If that guy wrestles well, we'll win.
How do you handle 2 duels in 24 hours?
It's not a big deal, it's like the NCAA championship. You wrestle the Big 12. You wrestle in the evening. Big national championships. You wrestle in the morning. You wrestle in the evening. You come back the next morning, weigh in, wrestle in the morning. It's not. There's no disadvantage to it. And so, if anything, it's probably an advantage. I think both teams are going to go through Oklahoma, right? Wrestle Oklahoma. So I think both teams are doing the same. wrestle in the evening and then afternoon, or 6 o'clock the next day. It's actually nice to have it. Yeah, gives people a weekend here that they don't have to wait a full day between matches Friday and Sunday. If I had my preference, it'd always be Friday, Saturday. Leave Sunday alone. But I don't get my way most of the time.
John, going back to Sammy just a little bit, how did he handle that period or the first semester in eligibility? What did that look like for him?
Well, just just lack of motivation a little bit, just when you can't wrestle, it makes it a little tougher. It's challenging both mentally and emotionally, and you got to keep it together because you got to train hard during that time, and so it's easy to make wrong decisions when you're emotional and not things aren't coming through. I mean, there was a lot of things that we wanted to get done with him a lot quicker, and it just didn't materialize. And so, what do? Well, you got to train. You got to keep your focus. And I think as he, Coach, as he realized that he was going to get eligible, I think it was really a motivation for him to get going, get moving, and find a way to help the team. Help the team was the key for him. I think he's ever really wrestled on a team that I've seen him in the last couple of dual meets, matches that he didn't wrestle. I've seen his excitement about being there and the team wrestling well. So it's good to see him wrestling for the team.
So that whole semester, was he ineligible, or were you guys just
Ineligible. I don't think it was ineligible academic. It wasn't ineligible academically. It was a matter of the transfer. Yeah.
So why was it only a semester and not, let's say, a year? Because I know a bunch of times guys have to sit down.
Got to be really careful about talking about somebody's academics part of it. So just say this. Kind of a weird deal that really wasn't based on his was not based on his academics. Okay, it was more based on the transfer and when he took the transfer.
Joyce Bradley, he's been a guy who's kind of you guys started off pretty well. How have you seen him respond from that?
Well, hopefully he just kind of embarrassed by it, and I'm not embarrassed. I don't think you should ever be embarrassed around, but pissed, mad, angry. I want to do something about it, but being embarrassed is not a good word. You should never be embarrassed. It's too hard of a sport to be embarrassed. So let's take that word and toss it and say, hey, we need to be angry about getting pinned. We need to be motivated in the room about getting pinned. And let's find a way to do a better job as we go into this week. And I think he's pretty consistent in the room. I think some of these guys, young guys that we got, you just want to speed up their mentality a little bit, grab them and going, let's become this, and sometimes we just got to go through some experiences before what I want to see, and so we got a chance of going through some things in the next 7 matches that can help us a lot. And as you look at the schedule, you see a highly competitive schedule that I think probably nobody's going to go through what we're going to go through, which is an opportunity for us.
Is that competition at 149, does that push both those guys together?
Yeah. Clean up, work out, everything. Show up on time. If it doesn't motivate you, then you're not that hungry to be competing, So, it's motivated both of them, and can't relax, when you relax and you look like you're going through the motions, not good.
For Plot, it's obviously a big weekend, like you mentioned earlier, for what he went through last week and being able to find a way to win that match. Can that provide him some confidence, you think, moving into this week?
Well, I don't think he could have done that in the past. You know, I think his experiences, which have been tough, some of them have been really tough, especially physically, and his experiences really, as he's grown to being a much tougher individual, both mentally and physically on the mat. And, it was just good to see. I mean, in the past, I'm not sure you could have got anything close to that. It's good to see him get healthy, get over the problems he had last week, and take a crack at number one, right?
John, how have you seen this being around a younger team and having the weighing thought of it being his last hurrah? Have you seen those things rejuvenate Dayton at all this year?
Oh, I think he's enjoying it. You know, he's you know, he's not really a verbal guy in the room, but I'm seeing him really become focused on where he knows he's going to have to win. You know, which and that's taking people down. You know, and getting off the mat. His offense seems to have really gotten better in the last month, and I think there's a reason for it. And a lot of it is his energy that he's putting in, you know. And I think it's good to see that some of our freshmen that he goes with get a chance to feel him and learn from him, you know. And so he's in a good place right now. You know, I thought one of his best matches I've seen was last week. And I'm talking about in a career, you know. It's a lot of offense.
What do you expect it to be like for Isaac to go against David Carr?
Well, you know, I mean, he's got to come out and he's got to be punching people and punching him and keep punching him. You know, I mean, I don't mean physically punching him, but you know, Carr's done a lot. He's been somewhere that Isaac wants to be and wants to experience. Well, this is an opportunity, right? And so he's going to have his best match, right? And I'll say that Carr's going to have his best match. I've got as much confidence in Isaac, you know, and so somebody's got to have a good match to win. So it might as well be Isaac. I hope he gets that message.